Students, sit down, please. Daniel Kwameje, sit down, please. Mazi Okoro, sit down, please. Mami Sewa, sit down. Everybody, whose pen is this? Please come take it, quick. But why is the blackboard not cleaned? Class prefect, why is it not cleaned? Sit down. Why are you now coming to clean it? It means you are not ready for the class. Should I walk out? Should I walk out? Next time I will ask you to use your shirt to clean the board. Sit down. Okay. So because the blackboard has not been cleaned, I'm not going to write anything. So you have to make sure that you battle with your pens and paper. Today we're talking about Daniel Ahmling Chapman, whose photograph you see here. Daniel is spelled D-A-N-I-E-L. Ahmling is A-H-M-L-I-N-G. Chapman is C-H-A-P-M-A-N. Nyaho. Nyaho is N-Y-A-H-O. Daniel Ahmling Chapman Nyaho. Now, Daniel Ahmling Chapman Nyaho was born on the 5th of July, 1909. In fact, 2.5 months before Kwame Nkrumah was born, he was a Ghanaian diplomat, a statesman, and an academic. In fact, he was the very first African appointee at the United Nations. This man you see here, he served as the secretary to the cabinet in the first Convention People's Party government, Nkrumah's government, which shared the colony's administration with the colonial government. He also served as Ghana's ambassador to the United States of America and Ghana's permanent representative to the United Nations. In 1958, a year after this country's independence, he became the first Ghanaian headmaster of Achimota College. Achimota College. The first Ghanaian headmaster of Achimota College. How many of you are from Achimota School? What? Look at the school. Beautiful. And I like where it is located, in the heart of the jungle. Sometimes I just drive around the school, get into the bush there, play soccer in the park. Look at it at night. Jesus. The first headmaster, Ghanaian, of Achimota School is the man we're talking about today. Daniel Ahmling Chapman Nyaho. Okay. He was born in Keta. And Keta is a town in the Volta region of Ghana. He had his early education at Keta. And then he moved to Togo. He entered Achimota School to train as a teacher through unusual circumstances and taught at the same Achimota College prior to entering Oxford University for his bachelor's degree. He studied both in Ghana and in Togo. He spoke Ewe fluently. All the way from Keta, he found himself at Oxford University for his bachelor's degree. And he returned as a senior tutor at Achimota College. Oh, Lord. And there, he took on other roles. My brother, my sister. Daniel Ahmling Chapman Nyaho. He developed a strong interest in the socio-political situation of the people of his hometown and the Ewe ethnic group at large. You know what he did? He advocated. In fact, he stood for the unification of the Ewe people who had been dispersed into different colonial administrations by the colonial powers of the time, some in Togo, some in Benin, some all over the place. He was an Ewe man who wanted to see a United States of Ewe land. He wanted to see every Ewe come together and unite. Jesus have mercy. And he encouraged the speaking of Ewe fluently, the writing of Ewe. He encouraged people to stand by their culture. That was what he did. Then he became the founding member of the All Ewe Conference. AEC. All Ewe Conference. And he served as its first secretary. Eish. But it was around this time that the United Nations appointed him. And he became one of the earliest Africans to serve on the world's most powerful intergovernmental organization, the first of its kind from Ghana. That was where the AEC started wavering and getting diluted. If this man had not been called to the United Nations today, we would have had the United States of Eweland. My God. All Ewes would have been one. He advocated for that. My brother, in 1954, Chapman returned to the Gold Coast to work as secretary to the then Prime Minister of the Gold Coast, Kwame Nkrumah. Nkrumah loved his brains. Ha! He served in that capacity until independence in 1957, when he was made Ghana's ambassador to the United States of America. And while serving in that post, he also doubled as Ghana's permanent representative to the United Nations. Oh, and then he had to exit from Achimota College in 1958. And Achimota started to cry. Oh, Chapman, he was such a great man. The first black man, first Ghanaian to be headmaster of Achimota College. My brother, my sister, see what he did next. When he left Achimota College in 1958, he returned to the school as his first Ghanaian and African headmaster. After the last expatriate left. So when he had left, he was told that the expatriate, the last one, was going away because independence had come. So from the United Nations, though he left Achimota, where he was a teacher, he returned to the school and became the very first Ghanaian headmaster. Is it confusing, students? No, it's not. My brother, my sister, he was first a teacher, and then he returned there as the headmaster after the last white headmaster left. And here you see him and Kwame Nkrumah talking. My brother, my sister, and this is a great man. My brother, my sister, he loved his culture, undiluted culture. So he became the first headmaster. From 1958, for 5 solid years, he was headmaster of the school. And then he returned to the United Nations once more. So from teacher, he became the United Nations representative. And then he returned to the school after the last expatriate left, and he became the first headmaster. 5 years later, he returned to the United Nations. Oh my God. Hey! He was over there for 2.5 years, serving in several other boards because Nkrumah trusted him until the 1966 coup. And then he was removed. He spent most of his retirement years as a consultant and a small-scale farmer. He was also engaged in the activities of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, of which he was a member. He died in 2001 at the age of 92. What a great man. He was older than Kwame Nkrumah. My brother, my sister, coming all the way from the Anglo states of the Volta region of Ghana, Keta. Oh my God. My brother, my sister. He was able to rise to the top as a great man. My brother, my sister. He was a grandson of Sopui chief of Jelukope. He went all the way to Oxford, came home with his knowledge and brains to serve his country. My brother, my sister. Yes, in 1919, he spent the school year in Lomé. My brother, my sister, where he went to school for just 1 year and then returned to Ghana, Keta, to continue. Today, we remember this great black man. In fact, we remember this great black man who was so inspired by Kwejir Agri, a one-time teacher of the Achimota school, who also taught Kwame Nkrumah. Jesus. His admiration for this man was the reason he went to school at Achimota and returned to Achimota several times. Today we remember you. In fact, even though he had admission in several schools, in his own handwriting, he wrote, "Dear sir, I wish to go to Achimota school. If you send me, I will work very hard." And this he sent, my brother, my sister, to the powers that be. Today we remember you, Papa. Papa YAB. You served as a teacher. You served as a diplomat. You also served as an advocacy leader. You loved tradition and you loved humanity. Power never changed you. You rather taught people how to handle power. Today we remember you. He died. He was married to Jane Efua Ahmling Chapman Nyaho, daughter of Nana Nyako the Seventh, Nifahini of Peki State in 1941. Together they had 5 daughters and 2 sons. His hobbies were music, walking, gardening, and reading. In fact, on his 90th birthday, KB Asante, the former Ghanaian diplomat and one of his former students at Achimota School, eulogized him when he wrote, "The masters and mistresses in those days entertained students to lunches and teas. Now and again, they did not give you extra coaching for a fee. Rather, they opened your mind with broad discussions and fed you as well." Daniel Chapman would say, "Eat. You won't get this in the dining hall. It is butter, not margarine." He told us stories about Oxford, which whetted our appetite for learning. He constantly encouraged you and gave the impression that he was exploring the path of knowledge with you. He was genuinely delighted when you did well. As he often put it, "If you do not do better than me, then I have failed." Oh my God. KB Asante today is not with us, but this was what he wrote about this great man we are talking about today. He died on Friday, the 13th of July, 2001 at the age of 92. And he was scheduled for burial on Saturday, 11th August 2001 in his hometown, Keta. My brother, my sister, on the 10th, there was a state burial for him in honor of his great achievements at the forecourt of the State House in Accra. He was laid to rest with military honors at the Usu Cemetery. So he didn't get to be buried in Keta. And present at the ceremony was the president of Ghana then, John Ajokum Kufuor, his vice president, Aliu Mahama, former president Jerry John Rawlings, and his wife, Nana Konedu Ajiman Rawlings. My brother, my sister, several ministers of state and others all attended, including members of the Achimota School and students. Today we remember this great man. Today we remember you, Papa. He won so many awards and honors. In fact, a very long list of them. My brother, my sister, today we remember you. We say, Papa, Damrifadbiewate. Yeah, Papa Daniel Ahmling Chapman Nyaho. Baba now. Baba now. Baba now. Oh, Baba now. Baba now. Oh. Mauna irao. Ow. In the burden of knowledge, I ask you, now that you know the story of Daniel Ahmling Chapman Nyaho, what would you do? Be an any ole mini obafe zunda kagane mezaka yine ya mpa bango bokaya nang fifia ye nyanu kai na woba na enwe be den lele ya njima singa be kunne lele ya njima singa beri. It's been the African history class, and today we've been talking about Daniel Ahmling Nyaho.
The champion, the lion is here.